I started from my basement as a contractor and eventually grew it to 18 states and 173 million in sales.
Booyah, baby!
I just think that the vague term negotiated claim is being misused to make people think suddenly you can't act as an American citizen or entrepreneur because that violates the Constitution.
And I looked at him and said, look, if you change this plan, you're going to have to deal with the repercussions down the road. See, that's when I got in as a sales guy doing this, knocking doors.
What do we do? Like, how do we grow? We had no idea.
What you've created here now is like unbelievable.
And everybody's ignoring what we saw with the 95% of property casualty claims, which are $10,000 claims on average.
Exactly.
Booyah, baby!
This is our country. This is our liberty.
Hey guys, Delmedico, SVG. I'm live in the SpeakEasy. I got Paul Olsen here, the local business broker and Colorado business broker.
Yep.
Sold more blue-collar companies than anybody I've ever met, with 380 companies in the last 20 years.
380 businesses in the last 30 years.
80 roofing companies.
80 roofing and storm restoration, disaster, mold remediation, fire and water damage. Yep.
Brought your beautiful teenage daughter in today.
Got Madeline here. 15 years old, just turned 15. She's going to take over the business someday.
And you'll learn the family business.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
A lot of number crunch. Do you know what EBITDA is?
I don't think so.
Earnings before interest, taxes,
Depreciation and amortization.
Oh,
Amortization.
yeah.
It's cash flow. It's what a business really makes.
No.
People run their books for taxes
Oh,
to keep the
these
taxes
taxes.
low, and
Yeah.
of course you push it all to the bottom line, all those perks.
It's true.
But we're going to teach you that.
So I brought Paul in, guys. He's going to be coming. He's going to be doing a breakout session at the Winter Storm Conference and Tradeshow Expo in New Orleans here in 2 weeks. Some of you guys remember he came a couple of years, been 4 years in a row as a speaker, breakout session trainer. He's also got a course. We got a course inside SVG University.
Yep.
Scale it and sell it.
Sell it. That's my
So
part.
really a process of how to prepare, not just sell your, how to prepare it on the financials, how to start thinking about how to sell your company. Because a lot of guys, if they want to sell their company today,
Right.
they probably have a mess of financials to go fix.
Yep.
You got to pull your ODE out and all that kind of stuff. Some of these guys
Yep.
might have different company names. And so for the guys watching us right now, there's really a process involved. And for some guys, it might be pretty quick. They got their stuff, that are pretty squared away.
Yep.
But some other guys, they might have to take 6 months to a year just to get their financials right, prepared to sell.
And it's not just the financials. Sometimes the owner is the main tent pole holding up the business, and that reduces value because the buyer perceives that he's, pretty irreplaceable. Sometimes you may have a lawsuit, a pending lawsuit. You got to clean that up. Buyers don't want to buy a business that's got a legal battle going on, or 3 or 4 OSHA violations or workman's comp claims that hit your mod rate real high. Your mod rate's real high.
Nobody's going to buy that company.
Right. So you want to sell your business when you don't have to, on your terms. Otherwise, buyers take advantage of you. They sense you're desperate. And you also want to sell it when it's just come off 2 or 3 great years, which of course we all have. I mean, the 2019.
This is actually, we're actually got a good peak right now, aren't we?
Yeah,
For
it's
sale?
been 13 years straight up. Never happened before. This is the first time it's ever gone. And of course, it's the stimulus and all that. But nevertheless, people's P&Ls, their balance sheets look great. They got a great pipeline.
No, not everyone's.
Yeah, a lot of people have a good pipeline of work, so that's a very healthy business, and that's when you get your highest value, your highest multiple. And you get a whole bunch of buyers in a bidding war to compete for your business.
Right.
Bid
You
the
got
price up.
low interest rates right now.
Lowest interest rates, it's the Civil War.
That could change, guys. I mean, we're usually get a recession every 13 to 15 years. We're at 13 years right now.
Yep.
So it's a possibility you might see a good dip. You're going to see a dip eventually. So if you're thinking about selling now, between now and the next year is probably be a wise move.
You want to sell your business before the music stops, because it will someday, and you don't want to get stuck like 2008, 2009, 10, 11 when you were in the trough and you didn't get a good price at all. You want to sell before you get to that cliff.
Right.
And most importantly, it doesn't matter what you get as a sales price, it matters what you keep. Talking about cap gains. 20% taxes, capital gains on the sale of a business.
Well, it's 20% now.
Right now.
But it could change under the current administration. What's that guy's name?
Biden.
Biden.
He's got to raise the taxes. He's going to. So
Capital gains might change.
it ain't going down.
It ain't going down.
So if it goes up, let's say it's 35%, would you rather have your $5 million check run through a buzzsaw of 35% plus state, or would you rather have it hit with a small pop of 20%?
So a lot of factors to consider.
Yep.
So guys, Paul, what I think Paul, he really breaks down, for some of you guys that are coming to Win a Storm Conference, if you're actually thinking about selling the next 6 months to a year,
Yep.
bring 2 or 3 years of your P&Ls to your breakout sessions. What do you think about
Last
that?
2 years of income statements,
Yeah.
QuickBooks is fine, maybe a
sit
recent
down.
balance sheet.
He did this on my company just for fun. In fact, I actually keep based on what we shot 2 years ago. I do a financial snapshot every Friday, and so on all the big aggregates. So I know at any given time my bank balance, QB balance in any company. I know my payroll, all my aggregate ones, what my cash flow is, my total outstanding AR, my total outstanding AP on any situation, and I do this every Friday now in anticipation that someday I want to have somewhat of a clean set of books or a better understanding of my business. Also, it makes you run your business better.
Right.
You know what I mean? And how to decrease certain costs where they're going up. So that was something that was a result when we did that course inside SVG University. It just got me thinking about financials. Some of you guys come in, like I said, if you're thinking about it, because I think you can only get 50 or 60 people in your breakout session, and you're looking for CEOs.
Serious people that own a business that make over $10 million a year. I'd love to have them at that breakout
well, not make,
session.
produce.
Yeah,
Very good make.
Yeah, gross sales.
Gross sales. So if you do 10 million or more in annual revenues, and you have at least a 3 to 5 year track history, and you're thinking about maybe selling, not now, but maybe down the road, bring a set of your P&L, your docs in, and Paul can sit down with you in a breakout and show you roughly what your business could be worth based on EBITDA, or also things that you can focus on to clean up your books or your processes to help you prepare to sell.
You know, along those lines, continuity is really important. Buyers are buyers are much better at buying than sellers are at selling. That's been long known. But the one thing a buyer really looks for is continuity. And I can think of 4 businesses that I sold in the last 18 months that used your program, your modules, your platform, an incredible number of modules, and they were able to, incorporate the entire SVG system. And when the buyer saw that, they knew that the entire business wasn't between the ears of the business owner.
That one company, remember they said they wanted it custom branded.
Yep.
So we custom branded the seller because the buyer wanted to feel good about because a lot of times when somebody sells their company, some of the upper management might leave, or the top sales guys might run off. You got a new owner.
We call it the hit by the bus syndrome. Is that if the owner got hit by a bus, what kind of mess would be left behind?
So
You'd love to know that the business would continue on, and it's going to get a bump, but it's certainly not going to fall off a cliff. But go ahead.
So the seller we custom branded his company on our platform. And we train sales, operations, accounts receivable, production, QC, everything A to Z in a $20 million plus company. And so the buyer felt better because the seller had a training platform. So if any of those top managers left or top sales producers,
let them go.
Hit a button, you can always hire somebody new.
Yep.
It's like McDonald's.
Yep. It's all systemized. And that helps me immensely because I can sell the business much faster and for a much higher price, because those systems are in place, versus again having it in some file cabinet or just having no system.
It's like when you buy. Well, it's like you get a franchise. Most people they spend the money on a big franchise fee because they're getting training, they're getting a recipe, they're getting a blueprint.
Yep.
And if you were just to buy a roofing and restoration company, let's say that key talent left,
it cuts the risk. It really does
risk,
dramatically. Versus a new owner coming in and saying, "Boy, this place is I don't know what I'm doing. I'm holding a wheel."
That's why we call it scale it and sell it.
Yep, just like shake and bake.
So guys, check it out. We're going to be adding his breakout session somewhere on day one. We got a pretty interesting, I want to ruin the surprise, grand opening on day one. The whole American theme, yada, yada, yada. Little Bella coming out. I don't want to give away all the secrets. Right. Paul's coming out. So we got a really cool grand opening, Win the Storm. We're going to plug his breakout session. If you're an owner, a CEO, $10 million plus, 3 to 5 years of financials, and you're thinking about selling sometime in the near future, check out his breakout session. If you want a little one-on-one with him, bring a couple of your P&Ls and he can come in, take a look at it, give you a free, no hassle consultation on what you need to be prepared to sell.
It's selling a business, selling a home. People have done that 2-3 times, selling a car, but selling a business is almost always a one-time event. People don't know how to do it. They don't know how to protect confidentiality. They don't know how to sell it, quietly, making sure a parade of buyers doesn't come through.
Speaking of financials, did you take advantage of the $12,000 child tax deduction?
$1,200?
Because you're 16?
15.
Okay, I thought you were 16.
No.
You didn't? Okay, well here's a little tip for you guys, because I did a little research last year. I always meet with my tax guys mid-year and do some tax planning. I'm trying to reduce taxable income.
Right.
But you can write a $12,000 check to a child of yours, hers. In my case, I did Bella Mia. She actually participated in the Winter Storm Conference last year. She, run around helping on a thing. She's done different things where she's been in some videos and photos. So we just documented those times. It was worth a $12,000 check as far as modeling.
Okay.
It's 100% tax deductible to you as the entrepreneur, your business. They also, because they're children and they're working for you, don't have to pay FICA, FUTA, SUTA, CUDA, or any of the other stuff. So it's a freebie for them.
Wow.
And inadvertently, what I did is I gave her $6,000
Right.
to teach her how to manage a debit card. Then I stuck $6,000 back in her college fund, in interest-bearing.
We'll cover this later. Let's cover this later.
Yeah, so
Do you know the kind of damage she could do with a check that big?
Well, she's gonna learn. She's learning how to manage an account, but I also stuck some in her college fund. But what happened was I got a $12,000 straight 100% tax deduction.
I didn't
The
know.
child's not responsible for the FICA, FUTA, SUTA, CUDA, state, all that kind of stuff on the $12,000
So I can expense it.
Per
And she
child.
doesn't have to declare it.
per child. Yeah, she doesn't have to declare his income.
That's $12,000.
$12,000 right off for you.
And
And now,
to
if you're sneaky, I guess you could give it to her, and she could give it right back to you if you're stingy.
Yeah.
But I stuck it in Bella's college fund and gave her a little bit to have fun with. But it's a tax deduction. I mean, there's so many. There's another thing to think about. I study a lot of tax.
I'll say 40%. Fed plus
Yeah.
state, that's
Yeah.
40%.
There's a lot of tax loopholes out there too to
I say
consider.
$5,000 on that.
Yeah, I think
That's
we're-
a great nugget. I didn't know that. Honestly, I really didn't. We didn't just stage that at all.
I actually
didn't.
posted it on the page. A bunch of guys go, "What?" And it's, there's always some guy who thinks he knows.
This is fresh off the press. This is all new.
I don't know if I think it was new under the Trump tax code. I don't think tax code is this high if you actually read all the books. Nobody ever reads this stuff. And then when Trump made the tax reforms in 2016, which didn't go in effect till really 2017,
Right.
80% of the CPAs in America don't even know about the old tax codes. They know about this much.
Yeah.
They definitely don't know about all the Trump tax codes. And so they're still learning those now.
That's not
And
small stuff right
That's
there.
just leaked out last year. And now you got Biden in. Now he's going to change everything.
I wish I
It's
knew
going to take him
that.
a year to do that.
Yeah.
It's going to take everybody 2 years to figure out the changes he made. And then you got another new president.
I
So
honestly wish I knew that the last 3 years.
Yeah.
I've got 2 girls.
24 grand.
Yeah. Okay.
See, now he owes you. Tell him to do a reverse.
I'll amend I'll amend the taxes.
All right, guys, check him out. Paul Olsen. Look for his breakout session. What's the headliner? Sell it, scale it. Mr. Exit.
Dr. Exit. I'm affectionately known as Dr. Exit.
Dr. Exit. Look for the exit strategy. Paul Olsen. He'll be at the Winter Storm Conference.
Get the biggest check of your life.
Booyah, baby. See you soon.
Booyah.